Weekend, save 20% on all our fine jewelry and an additional 10% on loose diamonds, our lowest prices ever. By Factory Direct and Save, the Jewelry Exchange Direct.
Brace for impact as the baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. All new Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox.
Hi, we're Tubi.
If you want to do a little fishing, you don't buy a yacht. And if you want to take a bath, you... Go online or find us at Target.
WinstonGold is a junior mining company that focuses on high-grade, low-cost mining opportunities. So with me to explain a little bit more about this is CEO Murray Nye and also Joe Carrabba, the executive chairman of WinstonGold. So great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So Murray, let's start with you. What is the history of your involvement in this project and in the gold industry?
Well, it goes back to 2005. Gold hadn't moved probably in 30 years. It was priced around $400. I had a very good friend of mine in the mining business. I thought maybe it's a good opportunity to look at gold projects right now because of the printing of currencies and the financial uncertainty in the world. Even at that time, that was 2005. It's gotten a lot worse since then, but I thought there was an opportunity there, and I asked this gentleman, Mike Gunsier, if he would help us find a gold project, which we did in 2005, and put another similar situation to this into production back at that time. In 2010, we had it in production at the rate of 400 tons a day at 0.4 ounces per ton, producing roughly 160 ounces of gold a day. We came back in 2014 and acquired this project. We leased the property from the owner, and we have a geologist by the name of Ben Porterfield. I call Ben like the Sherlock Holmes of geology. He seems to find data and information that very few people have access to. He's got access to old archives and universities. So he found out there was a good history on this property going back to the turn of the last century, about 1890. And it was a very high-grade gold mine that they mined consecutively for about a distance of 2,400 feet. And at that time, it was one of the longest veins in the world. And there were 700 and some odd drill holes into this done between 1985 and 95. So there was a lot of valuable data that we acquired along with the project chain. And so that's how we got involved in, with Joe's help, we've brought this project on stream. We're very close to putting it into production.
Yes, gold is certainly getting a lot of interest these days with all the Fed spending and uncertainty going on in the world. So Joe, what about you? What's your history with gold and with this project in particular?
Well, I've been in the industry my entire working life. I'm a geologist with an MBA and worked for a number of very good companies from coal to gold all the way through. I was on the Newmont board for 9 years, and I ran chaired the Sustainability Operations and Environmental Committee, so had a very good knowledge and a lot of good people around the Newmont management team to really get me into the gold industry from there. So I retired from the board last July after the conclusion of the Goldcorp merger, and really wanted to focus on the junior gold space. I think there's some real synergies that can be added there. in the industry and bring it from the drill bit to production, which, as you know, we're about to do, and that's pretty uncommon for a junior mining company. So yeah, I found it a very exciting opportunity.
So Murray, let's talk about gold and just kind of the macro. Like I mentioned, it's getting a lot of attention. The world seems scarier and more uncertain than it ever has in my lifetime, even during 9/11. I mean, and plus all this government spending that's going on. So what's your opinion of the global economic market?
Well, I think it's a mess. I think it's obvious that it's a mess, and I just don't know how they're going to get out of it. You know, right now they're trying to spend their way out of it, and then you've got a lot of uncertainty in the world because of COVID and all the jobs at risk. I know in our country, in Canada, they've just put a lot of enforcement measures in to prevent people from moving around. But you know, that being said, you know, gold historically has always been a currency, and it's always been a store of value. So it's very portable. It's easy to maintain. There's a liquid market for it all the time. So it's you know, I remember watching an interview with Ray Dalio back about a year ago, and you know, he was saying cash is trash, and this was even before COVID or any of this other stuff was happening. And you know, he wasn't a big gold bug per se, but he certainly thought it was worth looking at as far as, you know, maybe putting 10% of your portfolio into gold. But historically, it's always been a store of value and a currency. So, you know, I think it's a good hedge against inflation. And I'm old enough to remember, you aren't, Jane, but I remember the hyperinflation back in 1979-80, where interest rates went to 20%. And you know, this is what the world is poised for again. I believe. I don't know when it's going to happen, but you're going to have inflation at some point.
Okay, and then Murray, final question for you. I mean, there was a recent press release that said that you intersected more high-grade gold in the parallel line. Explain what that means for non-gold.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Happy to, Jane. It's the parallel vein, actually. Okay. It's
okay.
Okay, the gold is hosted in what are called veins, and the vein is a different form of it's a different geological setting than the host rock. The veins contain the gold, and we're currently developing the parallel vein on the level we're on now. And then what happened was, with these last two drill holes, is we've intersected some much higher grade than we're on the level we're on right now. Like the level we're on right now is running about a 0.3 ounces per ton. The last drill intercept was 1.5 ounces per ton, over 5 feet. So that's a significant increase in grade, like 5 times the grade that we're on. So what that means is that, you know, we can produce a lot more ounces on that level. We also have, it's not too far away from where we are now. It's about 80 feet in front of us and roughly 40 or 50 feet below us. So it's not going to be that long to get to it. Also, there's another drill hole, maybe about 80 feet lower than that intercepted some similar grade, about 0.6 ounces per ton, and it's 300 feet ahead of the other one. So there's some good strike length to that, and there's some very high grade material right below our feet, if you like, that we can get to mining in the not too distant future.
Okay. Well, thank you, Murray and Joe, for explaining gold and WinstonGold, and I think could be a very interesting thing to watch over the next few years. So, good luck.
Thanks, Jane. To you and your audience, we appreciate your time very much.
Thank you. Welcome back. With me is Jag Singh, the CEO and co-founder of Vid, to tell us all about that company. So, Jag, let's just start with, give us an overview of what Vid is and what are you building?
Vid is a social media app that pays you. So if we look at social media, there's 3 categories of social media. The traditional and most prevalent one, obviously, is social media apps that are free, but then they harvest your data and hit you with ads. Recently, there's been social media apps that you pay for, then they don't collect any data on you. And we're sort of pioneering this third wave, which is social media apps that pay you.
And you are one of those that pays people, like content producers, or how does it work exactly?
So everyone gets paid every single day that they're active. So it's not just for influencers, content creators, because everyone is delivering value to these platforms.
So this is really interesting. So we've got, of course, everybody's familiar with Facebook, and we basically provide their content. They sell our data to advertisers. So how are you different than how a Facebook business model is?
All it is you are getting a piece of the pie. So we still will collect a certain amount of data. You will see ads, but you'll be remunerated for your efforts in our native token for every day that you're active. And it's all based around an impact score.
Okay.
So the more that you're impactful to the platform's growth, the more content you produce, the more views it gets, the more people you invite, the more you earn.
Okay, makes sense. So and you mentioned the token. So Vid has a token as an underlying currency or asset. Explain, how does that work?
Yeah, we have a native token called VI, VI. We like to say it's join today, earn tomorrow. So you can sort of download the app today and you'll be able to cash it out on Uniswap the very next day.
Okay, and so I would set up an account, I would contribute, I would get paid in the VI tokens, that's the name of the token.
Yes.
And then that would go to an account and then I could get dollars or whatever currency I wanted.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. And then also you've tokenized hashtags. How does that work?
So basically it's a hashtag that you can own. Each one is represented by an ERC721 non-fungible token. And what it means is once you bought that hashtag, anytime you post, your post will automatically be at the top of the search results for that hashtag. So imagine, for example, going into the election, if you own the hashtag Trump on Twitter, what would that be worth? You know, it'd be priceless, $10 million plus. So it's interesting. Yeah, we're selling 10 hashtags per day. We're ramping it up slowly because obviously they become more valuable to us, the company, as we grow. So we're only selling 10 a day on OpenSea, and it goes by auction and it's going well.
So if I had a very popular hashtag, every time somebody used it, I would get a little.
Yeah, you also get some sort of passive income because each like on Vid is worth 1 cent worth of buy. Oh. So you would get 1% of all the likes of anyone that posts with using your hashtag that you're on.
Interesting. Okay. And then, so what potential does Vid have to educate and maybe get people more accepting of crypto?
To me, I think Coinbase is 30 million users. I think Binance 15 million users, and those are sort of the top end numbers. When you compare that to Facebook's 2 billion plus users, and essentially we are a very similar service to say Instagram or TikTok, but we pay you to do the exact same thing, there's a very high likelihood that we will obviously bring millions of users, but be the first interaction with crypto for those users. And it's a simple way it's not asking someone to go out and buy a token and commit to something they don't really understand and learn the technology. It's just post, do your normal thing, and you earn it for free. And then you can figure out how to sell it. So that you kind of lowered the threshold because they've already received it for free. And then working out how to sell it, turn it into dollars, it's worthwhile putting them in that, for them to put in that time and investment.
Now, are you global?
We are, yeah.
Okay.
We're growing fastest right now in India, I guess because of the TikTok ban, but our second biggest market is the US, and then the UK and Western Europe.
Now, do you have a lot of young users? Is that why TikTok users? Okay.
It is, because it's vertical video, very similar to TikTok, very similar user experience, just you're earning for it. And yeah, large user bases, sort of Gen Z, millennials. Okay.
Well, I have an 11 and a 13-year-old, so I'm gonna, and they do watch TikTok a lot, so I'm gonna tell them about you. Maybe they can make some money.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, the future, like looking forward to 2021, what do you see for Vid?
For us, this next 18 months is really going to be about blitzscaling. We recently just started marketing and onboarding traditional influencers. Our user base is growing at around 5% daily active users a day, and that compounds very quickly. So for us, it's going to be scaling up the team and speeding up user acquisition, spreading our reach globally.
Okay, all right, and just go to the phone and you can download the Vid app. Just look for VID.
Yeah, just search Vid, and if you can't find it in certain countries, just search Vid, Future of Social Media.
Okay.
Available both on iOS and Android.
Interesting. I'm going to check it out. So thank you so much, Jag, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back. We are talking again with the folks from JDCoin about their business and the developments that have been happening over the past couple of months since we spoke. And so we've got co-founder and CEO Dr. Singh and also another co-founder, Dr. Prashar, with us. So great to have you guys back.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, yeah, so Dr. Singh, if you could explain Hydrus. So we did not talk about that last time that we spoke. What is Hydrus?
Hydrus is a fourth generation blockchain launched by JDCoin. So it is poised to solve the issues caused by the previous generation of blockchains. So it is built with robotic advancements, is more structured, scalable manner with the help of machine learning, data compression, shredding, and many other advanced technologies. Mm-hmm. So these technology advances will lead to the better, fast interchain data exchange, which was not possible so far, thus also helping in instant verification of transactions. So the capabilities like atomic swaps, stable side chains with the easy mechanism or to add transaction nodes, mm-hmm. and ability to add a multi-layer consensus algorithm, which leads to a robust, secure, fast, and intelligent blockchain.
So, Dr. Singh, how does this change the crypto community?
This changed the crypto community in the way basically the means of contributing the benefits of the triple S, the mantra with the social, responsible, scalability, and sustainable. So that enhance the geographically reach of blockchain. So that's how we see it cannot change it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then Dr. Prashar, I mean, there's a lot of hype in the market about an Industry 4.0 revolution. Is it similar to that?
Yeah, the answer is no. Here is some more about improving on efficiency, speed, and the storage requirement. Making adaptability is the key. The idea is to explore many new industries as possible to solve more and more problems in a difficult verticals.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a lot of talk about AI, so artificial intelligence and ML, machine learning. So if you could explain, what is your view on that? And they're very similar. So how are they different, and what's your view on that, Dr. Singh?
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz on AI and ML, as you know, and this will also have its own bubble burst as in the industry. So while there are a few things human get it wrong, as things are repetitive, fatigue cause errors, and we can rely more and more on machine during such times. So as you are seeing them, from driving a car to assisting a flying a plane, we have artificial intelligence. You will continue to see this growth from some more time, after which the curve will start flattering, and where people will start saying powered by real humans.
Okay, and then Dr. Singh, I mean, what's your vision for Hydrus? So, like, where do you see it 5 to 10 years down the road?
Hydrus 7 will, I'm really sure the Hydrus 7 will turn out the platform and will act as an umbrella for many projects in as many verticals as possible. We'll also sponsor startups to participate in our ecosystem. Artificial intelligence, IoT devices, health records, connected devices are current projects as of today. Advanced content with the solution, uses of devices, idle time, fast and high data compression are near future projects. The aim would be to reduce the operation costs, increase speed, security, while moving to an open and distributed world. So if I remember 15 to 20 years ago, we were calling cars to call international. Now it's almost free. Mm-hmm. So if you remember, the storage was expensive for emails, photos, etc. So now it's expected to be free. The stock brokerage and many was very expensive. Today, many platforms offer free for almost low cost or fees. So we similarly will. I see the internet storage and security services will be tending to be almost free. This will lead to many free services. Like today, the premium TV content will be free. So what considers a premium security will be free years ago. So we wish Hydrus 7 and a partner will help to make a free digital world happen, actually.
Well, that's very interesting. And what will companies like Amazon, services and Azure do? But that's, I guess, a discussion for another time. So thank you so much, Dr. Singh and Dr. Prashar, for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Zynecoin is the first decentralized ledger to focus and support on African innovators and entrepreneurs. And with me is the CEO of Zynecoin, Karim Ben Abdelkadir, to explain Zynecoin to us. So welcome, Karim.
Thank you.
Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Ben Abdelkadir Karim, Chief Executive Officer of the Wager blockchain Zynecoin and ZYN token project.
And how will the blockchain serve development in Africa?
There are more opportunities to serve African developments. For instance, one, tokenization. It's a new solution for the African entrepreneurs to have access to fundraising. Two, smart contract. It allows to automate and secure functions that previously were assigned to trust intermediaries, such as accounting, insurance, and real estate. Three, DApp, or decentralized application, is an application that runs on decentralized network. It thus makes possible direct peer-to-peer interactions between users. So this will increase business opportunities in the digital field.
Okay, is Wethio supported by a coin?
Yes, of course, the Zynecoin. We spell it ZYN. That's the Wethio's blockchain coin. At the moment, Zynecoin is listed on bbox.com and probit.com platforms.
And do you have upcoming projects on Wethio?
Yes, we started the ZYN project. The utility value of this token will allow the construction of an eco-village in Africa, self-sufficient in food, water, and energy. About the technological aspect, we have the ambition to send Africa into orbit through a space program of orbital satellites in order to assist African governments into managing territories without internet coverage. We are actually at the second round of the ICO before being listed on the market around April 21st. To sum up, for people who are interested into having more information about the ZYN project, here is our website, www.zyrri.io.
Okay. And I take it you are confident about the project. Why is that?
Yes, of course. We are totally in phase with the major developments of our time. On one hand, the blockchain breakthrough, which will revolutionize the social and economic interactions between humans. On the other hand, the African continent, which represents an extraordinary growth driver. It is for these reasons that Zynecoin and ZYN have a bright future ahead of them.
Thank you so much, Karim, for joining us and explaining that. I think Africa is getting a lot of attention. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your attention. And salam alaikum.
GreenBox is a fintech company that helps people leverage their business financials through blockchain technology. So with me to explain more about exactly how this works is Ben Aris, the chairman of the company. So Ben, great to see you and hear more about GreenBox. Do you want to just start with kind of telling me what makes you stand out versus a lot of the other competitors these days?
Yeah, so GreenBox is the only payment infrastructure company that utilizes 100% blockchain ledger technology for payments. We continuously work on technology upgrades and release new generations of our technology on a regular basis. Lastly, our approach is holistic. We develop the operating system and the applications on top of that. And we own all of the intellectual properties for the technology that is deployed in our ecosystem.
Okay. And then what drew you to GreenBox in particular? Because there is a lot of fintech out there. A lot of it's very exciting technology, and it certainly seems like the future. But what was GreenBox especially drew you to that company?
Well, I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm the co-founder of this company. And through a series of smart and lucky events, GreenBox became the only company that has both the application and the infrastructure for blockchain ledger in the payment space. We company about 4 years ago. Released our first commercial platform in the first quarter of 2019. The second generation became available in April of this year, and we're looking forward to releasing our third generation probably by the end of this year, beginning next year.
Okay, and then the blockchain technology is what's underlying it, right? And I know, a lot of people can't quite understand